When you're on, Gavin, how's it, Nikki? Okay, I'll start in a couple of minutes as normal. Yeah, just to say hi to everybody. You know, the chat line's there in the normal way. Missed you guys on Friday, but back here now. And yeah, we can rock and roll, just interact as per normal. Nothing changed. It's fantastic. Wow. In a way, I'll come to that in a minute. Just let us go in. Yeah, it went okay, but I was a bit stressed because just to make sure everything was in place. We sorted it all out, but anyway, I'm all sorted now, so that's okay. Make sure not to break the speed when the cops are around. So that, like I got speeder crews, make sure you know above 120. Excellent cup of tea. So yeah, brilliant. You hear the sea in the background, eh? Right overlooking the beach. Very marvelous. Rise and shine. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. Get up, you buggers. The morning's fine. Just wait a second or two, guys. Actually, I'll change over the class. I might be an idea. Might not have it. A second. Right, that's half past. Yes, great. So, yeah, it's a little bit nippy here. It's not as cold as Joburg, clearly, but hoping the weather's up there is not too bad. Okay, I've got WTF. I don't quite know why, because that's already hit the TP. Hit the TP. I think it was on Friday. Just squeezed the TP on Friday. Just got there, I think. Just about. Anyway. But I think most guys are out of that one now. The trading, the VIP group got the CAD JPY. It was posted on there, only on that group, the WhatsApp group of the VIPs, and that hit TP, which is quite nice. We had a bit of a baddie with the Euro GBP, but that happens. But the other one, Euro NZD, did hit the TP. So that made up. So 2 out of the 3 trades hit the TP. So if you'd hanged on for the TP, which you should really try to be doing and not taking the profit too quick, which I do try to say a lot, you know, your net profit should come out of it. So you should have done all right. Okay. I'm just trying to enhance on that because I know a couple of people are panicking, taking profit a bit quick with the noise, the ups and downs. Remember, try not to stare at it all the time because you panic when it comes off a bit and you take it too quick. Done it myself recently the other day. I mentioned that. And USD Japanese yen after that CPI, and I was annoyed myself. So try and run with the profits because otherwise you do take a loss and it's 3-4 times the profit you take. To try and sustain one loss in every 4 or 5 trades is asking a bit. Okay, this is real world, not the YouTube world where you win every time, or the Instagram world. Okay, all right. So has it been sent out? Yeah, we did a couple of trades, but some problems with the WhatsApp and the company stuff. I think it's sorted out. So give me a second while I post for you. It's getting there. Second. Just give me a moment to do this. Where is it? Where the hell is it? Ah, here we are. Can't see it. Chef, we'll look at it in a moment. Hope it's correct. I haven't checked it.
Got it.
The second. I haven't checked. I've just copied and pasted my signals, but they sent it out to my WhatsApp group, and I copy and pasted onto the VIP. There we are. So I've done that. Hope they're all correct. Okay.
I just received two. Morning, Raj. CAD CHF as well as GBP NZD.
Yeah, just checking quickly because I just copied and pasted. What happens, so you know what's happened? We have a discussion before this meeting. I come up with a couple of ideas, and if everyone likes it, I want to, the other guys got to like it, even though they're my ideas. If they disagree, then they won't go. And then they will put it on the trading support group, which you guys aren't a member of. We are, and then I copy and paste it onto my VIP from there. So yeah, I normally check it, but it's just come through now. I had a problem with the WhatsApp in the office, so I hope they're posted and the figures are correct. So we'll try them out. Okay, so they will be posted again just now on the MT5, but just the idea is to get it fresh off the press here, and occasionally we'll get hopefully a few more purely for the VIP group to make sure people are looked after in that area. Okay, CAD CHF was a sell. Just get the details up now. Came straight for that meeting actually, so I've got a chance to copy it down. So just give me a moment to do that. Getting a better price actually. So we've gone up a bit, so we'll discuss it in a minute. 59.40 and 64.780. 64.780, and it's PSLTP. And the other one was the just a second. Just give me a moment. Sorry about this. Make sure I've got the right one there. GBP NZD 2.087, 2.0927, and 2.0567. What was this one again? Okay, let's start off with this. Just minimize that second. Let these guys in. Okay, let's starting off with this one here. You are getting a better price at the moment. Let's look at the days. Right about the high area here. The Swiss franc is still seems to be king. So if you go in now and you like the trade, it's going up a little bit. Momentum's up a little bit on the 50 minutes coming off. If you want to wait, you can. If you're already in, well, up to you. But don't forget, if you like the trade and you're selling short, it's high price from the signal, you want to go in at market. Please don't put a sell stop. You're getting a better price. Okay. If you want to wait a bit, because it seems to be a little bit up on momentum, but I'm not sure how it's longer to last. You might get a little bit higher up. It's up to you. But yeah, it's just looking pretty good if you can get a better price, that is. I hope it all makes sense. Okay, so we'll come back to that in a minute. GBP NZD was another one, because that one we got it 0807. What's wrong with this one? Got something wrong there. Just a second. Just a second. Short. 0807 GBP NZD. Something wrong here. Hang on. Something's wrong here. No, it's correct. It's coming off nicely. Just doing a lot better than I expected. Trouble is, because the delay I had in the office for the WhatsApp, you might have missed it. Let's go to the 15 minutes, because it was supposed to be sent out about half an hour or so ago. Pity. It's supposed to be sent out around about this sort of level here. So it's now chasing it a bit now. That's 40 pips away. No, you missed that one. What a pity. What a pity. Yeah, what a pity. It just made it goes up and down. It might come back. You get a decent fill, but I wouldn't be chasing it now. That's 40 pips away. Pity about that. That's not your fault. That's not our fault. That's Betty WhatsApp's fault. Tell you now. These are questions you want to hear. Gerard and Peter often ask why we're doing it, so you can learn why. Basically, I go back to the daily chart here. I know it's in the buy zone, but I think the pound's overcooked. There's still a bit of a hangover from the CPI being a bit better, which has weakened the pound. And it seems to be a range trade of the highs there. So I thought maybe take it down to this sort of level here as I like a bit of a pullback. That's basically why. I think the pound is going to continue a bit because they've got a lot of problems over there. And the CPI being a little bit better than expected means they're going to put back the hated interest rate rises. So that's why that's why it weakened a bit. And I thought to the top of the range, it might be an idea to come back. And it seems to be working out as we speak, but we're getting a bit of a jump at the moment. You might not get it at 208.08 the signal price, which we want to get at. But if it gets to 208 and comes off, I still think you can get a decent risk reward. Go for it. But that's the reason why. Does that make sense, Gerard and company?
Incoming mail.
Yes, Roger, it makes sense. Thank you.
As long as you're happy with that, yeah. It's wise to ask. You might think, well, why is it selling and not buying? What's the reason? That's why we asked. And there's a question. Now you might think, well, hang on, Roger. I have no problem with that. I say suspend ego if you do trading. We get it wrong. Everybody does. I don't care who you are. And I might have missed something. So, and you learn when you come up with the ideas, why would I do that? And that's important. So these are important questions. And thanks very much for it. The only ones I don't like, if we finally ask a question and know the answer. I'm only joking.
No problem. I'm just curious about the yen. All of a sudden, it happened again that the yen is playing games this morning, like Friday morning as well.
Okay, we'll look at that. Yeah, now I was on the road. I was up at crack of dawn, got on the road. We had a trailer as well to come down there to organise the packing. So I'll be honest with you, I was a bit away from that. I heard from Clinton, he filled in for me yesterday, that she had a bit of a, yeah, but I believe, because the sales out of touch, sorry about that, guys, and the CPI on the yen came through. And the CPI might have been a little bit better than expected, which I'm not sure which way the yen went. Did it strengthen or weaken? Yeah, the yen weakens. Yeah, so the CPI must have come out a little bit better. You can check. I tried to look at my economic calendar, but I couldn't get last week. Only yesterday, which is no good to me, and for next week. So if you did see the CPI coming out slightly better, which I think was released on Friday, and it's across the board, you look at the yen, it did came up, went up, yeah. So it weakened, yes, right. Pound went up, so the yen, obviously, the secondary currency weakened. So that might have been it, which is pretty good news for them from that point of view, because they are getting a little bit tired of paying so much for their all. They want a slightly weaker yen. So that looks like, if you know what the CPI was, you got, it fits into that theory, there we are. We're always tops.
Roger, but they expected 3.3 and it came out as 3.3. So that was what is curious to me. And it only happened after the markets open at 9 o'clock in Britain.
Okay, that's a bit strange then. Unfortunately, I can't help because I don't have those figures. I had to just guesswork on that. The sales on the road on Friday. So I'm not sure. Maybe something was said in Japan on the news or whatever. I'm guessing as much as you. I can't really fill in too much because, to say, I was away from the computer nearly all bloody day because I had to move in as well as get down here. So one of those things. But if the CPI is exactly the same as expected, maybe they're expecting it to be slightly inflationary, and it wasn't. And even at exactly the same as expected, that might have been the reason. But I think there's a hence towards trying to strengthen it a bit. So it's a bit strange that they might interfere. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's about the best to come up with. So it's a bit strange. I assumed that the CPI was a little bit lower than expected, hence the situation. Just exactly the same way I was going to say. Okay. Don't forget the dollar, by the way. It's strengthened a little bit. I don't know how long that's going to be. And remember, 8 o'clock on Wednesday evening, the Fed's announced interest rate decision. So we'll see what that's all about. Okay.
Excellent, thank you. But if you can quickly go to the Euro JPY on a
Yep.
30-minute time frame and
Yep.
have a look there, please.
With pleasure. Give it, because I don't use the 30-minute much, but the data's got to come through. There we are. I see what you mean. Now, the euro came off, and that's in this case, the Japanese yen has strengthened, which is back to front on the pound, if you like. I get where
Yeah,
you're
but
coming from.
if you look now back there where the green bars are on Friday,
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
correct.
opposite.
No. The Japanese yen weakened. That's why the euro strengthened.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Friday it weakened and all of a sudden now it's strengthened again. So if you
Yeah.
look at the
And then from that point of view,
logic.
I can't come up with an idea on that. The yen, they don't want it weaker. In the past, the yen was too strong, and the Japanese government tried to weaken it for export reasons. Now it's a little bit too weak for their area, and there's a lot of worry out there in the trades market. There might be some Japanese government intervention. So when they get a bit of a jump like that, they're taking their profit fairly quickly. That's what I tell you guys to do, okay? And they're getting out fairly quickly. That, I think, could well be the reason. I don't think there's no particular economic fundamental coming out today on the euro. Just let me check out, copy and paste for you guys in a minute. Those might not have it. What's the time now? 9:30. It was in Germany. Manufacturing was slightly lower than expected. So there could have been a bit of a contribution on that factor. 9:30, go to 15 minutes. Yeah, okay. I think that's largely because Germany, as you know, is by far the biggest economy there, and they had a bit of a weakening. So I think some of that was to do with the weakening of the euro, giving you that. So we'll try the yen on another short-term chart against another currency. If we don't get the same differential, that'll be the answer. There we are. Interesting. Well, let's try the euro on another one. Euro GBP. Yeah. Okay, it's about the euro. Okay, the euro is specific. Is the person now? It's the currency now that weakened because the economic count came out of German manufacturing being worse, quite a bit worse, in fact, than expected on the shorter term. Okay. Now let's have a look. Let's look at it against the dollar. Is it any? Because I think it was pretty. Because I think it was pretty overcooked on the dollar as well, getting these highs. And I was thinking maybe I should last week, maybe short it, but I couldn't see any particular confirmation. There was a confirmation late on Thursday, and on Friday would mean actually somebody could have shorted down, they broke through. I don't think we want to be chasing it now. 200 pips too far away, and there's a resistance. So, okay. So I think we missed the boat in the euro, unfortunately. Euro CHF is one I definitely want to sell, but no. Well, again, remember I mentioned to keep an eye out for sell if it gets back there, which it did. But clearly, I think a lot of guys didn't see that and missed it. So if it bounces, we can sell against the Swiss franc as well. Okay, I hope we're good with that. Any other questions, guys, before I go back to trades? It's just been posted to everybody. Okay. Pleasure. Thanks, Farley.
Morning, Roger.
Morning.
Can we look at a possible buy for the gold at some point when the dollar index starts weakening again?
Yeah, sorry, I had written down to speak to it. I got carried away with the other question. Gold I want to do, absolutely, but not this price. I want to do it, but I don't want to do it here. Because if you want to take the TP up to here, we can get a risk reward. That's not going to work. We definitely have problems at 2,000. If you're, excuse me, you want to take to $2,000 an ounce. Just a second. Yeah, if you want to take to $2,000 an ounce, you get a risk reward. If you want to take it to the previous high, which is this level here, you won't get a risk reward. So I want the stop loss below the 50-day. You see what I mean? Now we're talking nearly $19, and the distance there is, you know, it's there's less potential profit than the actual risk involved. So totally agree. I had it written down to chat to you. Thanks for reminding me, Ivan. But I want to get it. If we can get it maybe 1955 to 1960, we can do it. but above 1960, unless you guys feel, and I think it's going to go to 2000 this time around. I think you might be pushing your luck there. The dollar is strengthening as we speak, which is fairly negative for gold. So we might get a bit of a pullback. So remind me of it. I see it. Never mind the dollar strengthening. I'm not saying it's going to stop until Wednesday evening. Anything could happen. It's strengthened that much. So we could get a buy opportunity, but I say we can get it below 1960. Okay. Morning, Medulla. Okay. Are we all agreed on that? Happy with that? Better price, look for a buy. And I think it might get one because the dollar is strengthened a bit. Just remind, we're looking at something else. If it breaks 1960 and holds around about this level, we can definitely look for the stop down here. Okay. I don't want to push for a lot to 2000 this time. Okay. GBP CAD, we certainly do that. If anyone wants to come back to gold and offer it, we'll come back with pleasure. Just tell me. Remember, you can unmute like Farley and Adam stuff if you want to interact. Right, you're looking, please check where it stands. I'm not sure what you want to do with it, Obed. If you can, when you ask in the comments, just say what you want to buy and sell it and get an idea what you want to do with it. And please say if you're already in, that makes a big difference. You know, I assume you're looking for trading possibility. If you're already in, that makes a big difference. Okay, just provide that information and I know where you're coming from. Okay, now I'm a little bit, even though it's come down, even for a range trade, I'm of nervous this stage of buying the pound. Going back to CPI reasons, there could be a bit of weakness coming through, as indicated the last week or so. The Canadian is not that great, but I'm expecting upside on the oil. I'm not sure we'll get a risk reward at the moment, but I'm expecting more upside. And remember, the Saudis are decreasing production by 1 million barrels by the end of the month. Can't remember what day, per day. 1 million barrels per day, and I think China's slightly more on the mend, which means increasing of what you call it, use of usage, which could contribute more upside on oil, which is good for Canada, as you know, it's a very big oil exporter. So it could be a bit of a strength. So I'll be more looking, finding out in the buy zone, more interesting enough to sell it, but rather sell it up here. Because I'm basing that on fundamentals rather than purely on technical. But I'm not sure I'll be doing anything with it now. Okay, you want to sell it, but I'm not sure I'll be doing it now. Rather get a better price. I think you're going to be chasing it a bit here. You see, I'll tell you what I mean. If you name as this as your TP, it's 1,110 pips away. Where are you going to put your stop up here? You probably could manage it. What's the weekly doing? It's the bottom of the range. You might get a jump, although I do see a couple of wicks there. Some sellers defending that. 4 hour looks a bit better. Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I think, can we get a little bit better price? But I agree with the sell. But I just want to get a better price. Nearer the round figure 1.69. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you agree, disagree? I don't trust the dollar much at the moment either, though. That's been it's a major hassle. I agree with you on that. Wait a bit. We agreed on that. Great stuff. Logan, we just hit the TP on that one. Then if you remember the VIP club, but we hit the TP on that. I wouldn't jump in just yet, but we'll have a look at it in a moment. Okay.
Roger?
Yeah.
Okay, just want a question for what I've been noticing. Maybe I'm wrong. Since I started trading about 2 months ago now with you guys, you've been basically looking at if it hits like resistance, for example, and then resistance at the bottom, yeah, then you buy, basically. Am I correct? More or less. It's not cast in stone. And then when it's hit.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to make it clear on this one.
Yeah. Support
resistance is different. If you're going south, in other words, you're shorting it.
Yeah.
If you're shorting it, that's support, that's resistance. If you're going along, that's support, that's resistance.
Sorry,
I would be selling at support, but I wouldn't be selling at resistance.
Yeah, sorry, I made that. Sorry, I made that. Sorry, I get them confused.
Okay, right, but it's very important. That's why I'm getting a bit picky there. Sorry, carry on.
So you sell at you sell at support, yes.
Buying at support, you're going long, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So that's what you're basically doing. Am I correct?
Yeah, overwhelmingly, I'll tell you, my clear for everybody. I've been doing this for a while, and I'm completely convinced too many people overcomplicate it. You know, whether exponential crosses the simple on the 16 across the 21, or this always works for me when they get a stochastic at the 70% or the RSI at 70%, all these indicators are all lagging. I found if you get an idea of the fundamentals, you got it simple, it's cheap, it's free, not cheap, it's free, sorry, is economic fundamentals. Get an idea at that time which different currencies are stronger than others, a little bit of background on that, and then see on the candle what the buyers and sellers are doing. You can actually base it an enormous amount on that support resistance. Fibonacci you can bring in, but it cuts a lot of other stuff out, which actually just makes it more complicated and is it adding any value. So that's basically what I build my trading around. And quite frankly, it's been working, as you know, guys. If you go back to the signals, a lot of guys get out too quick, but that's not our fault. But if you look back to the signals of maybe more than 2 months, give a bit of time, maybe about the last 6 months or so, or maybe 4, 5, 6 months, using that, there'll be a lot more winners than losers. Often the guys are still battling because they're holding on to the stop loss, and that's it, reaching the target of the stop loss, or they're modifying the stop loss, don't take a loss away, and they're taking their profits too quick. That's when it comes back and bites a bit. But overall, keeping it simple like that, I do work it out. So I use these two are the most important, the 200 and the 50 simple. 100 has its uses and a sort of like a secondary resistance support. I don't use it when they cross or not cross. I'm not worried about golden cross, devil's cross, anything like that. I'm saying, all right, this is an area. I don't want to do one. I want to, let's say I'm going to short it there because I think the pound is going to be weaker than the Canadian. I'm happy with that. I've worked that out already as discussed. Then I'll say, not just the 50-day, is there anything else? And I can see there's a little bit of support resistance as going back into previous history. And then I think that's looking pretty good. And then I'll say, yeah, I'm happy with that. And it's in the sell or the intermediary zone, like I mentioned. That's the way I'll be looking at it. Okay. But my problem is I can't go for it now. I need to get it near this. I won't get this reward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see your logic now. Yes, I'm starting to understand your logic as we go along.
Because it might sound funny, this, but unfortunately, a lot of very intelligent guys often battle to get the hang of it simply because they're looking for something that's more complicated than it actually is. And there's a guy I knew as a trader, an English guy, very bright lad. This is about 3 years ago in the trading room, in the office, sorry. And he joined me in the office, came to sit down. And he was just sat in the other. And he suddenly said, hang on, I'm not talking about market movement. That's anything can happen there. I'm talking about indicating that sort of thing. And I explained to him. He said, he looked at me, he said, this is quite simple. That comment he made to me and a light bulb went off my head. I said, I get it now. That's where people are confusing it. They're trying to make it more complicated than it actually is. This is not brain science. It's not. This is not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? Where the difficulty comes in is almost totally on the emotional side. You panic when it goes a little bit of red against you. You go get the position size right. The variables of the market affected by a lot of emotion as well. Those are things usually come, and it's the discipline required to do it. Is really is what it's about. But the actual indication stuff is not. I'll show you another one. I just had an example. Let's try the Euro NZDs. What the hell? Take it arbitrarily. That tells me immediately I'm in the buy zone. I know the euro's come off a little bit because of Germany. I've got that. I can look at that, and I've seen it's reacted. So what do I do with that? I would leave it alone. It could get a profit-taking bounce, bang, onto the next one. I do that every morning. I go once. You might laugh at this, middle-aged guys, like a guy with a remote in front of the TV, goes to the channel to find something he can't find, so he tries it all over again. Same sort of principle. I start AUD at that and go straight the way down again to, alphabetically, and I can do it quickly because I'm not overcomplicating it. I look at that and almost with practice immediately I can see buy zone, it's come back. It could be a potential buy on the 4 hour, so before I go to the daily. It could get a bounce from here. It is in the buy zone. Is it worth going in? I wouldn't be chasing right after a fundamental coming in, but it could get a bounce from here. I might come back to it. Then I go on to the next one. You see, we go to this one, same sort of story. And you get with a bit of practice, you can do it. Okay. Thanks, Logan. But the most important thing to remember in trading is it ain't rocket science. where your problem, where the difficulty, what caused, without doubt, I'd say 90% of why people battle with it is the lack of emotional discipline and lack of correct position sizing. That's it. Okay. As I say, look, I'm not looking at the trades at the moment. I'm out of most of them, actually. I think I'm only in the down 1 hour. I forget which I'm in now, actually. Only in 2 at the moment. The Dow, I'm still on the Dow. Don't you guys are in. I decided to do it. That's my name. You go out. Dow's come off a bit. I'm going to stick with it. Yeah, and LUV. That's all I'm in at the moment. All the others took profit, hit TPs or whatever. CAD JPY did nicely on that one. I don't stare it all the time. You get the idea. Try not to do that because it will screw with your head. I learned personally myself on that. Okay. And this, Hogan, what you're doing there is interaction. This is a forum, not a class. You know, if you're not sure, like Pietro asked, he's only been doing it 2 months and he's getting the idea because he interacts. Rather than wade through books. He's going to meet everyone. And it's got more fun doing it this way and asking than wading through boring old books anyway. Can I get a better price for the CAD CH Chef? If you get a price, what a pleasure. Yeah, let's just look at the signal. CAD CH Chef was at 51. It's a better price at the moment. The first question you got to ask yourself, Cecil, do you like the trade idea? If you're just starting, you probably won't know the answer to that because you're just going by it. But with a bit of practice like Pietro and Gerard and Farley and Anna, you know, a few guys out there, they've done it for years, remember? It's not, they've studied 4 years for it, like getting a degree. They can start looking at it, and that's why they must, why you're buying or selling it. At this stage, if you like the trade, you're getting a better price. So why would you wait to go to the single price? Do you want to buy at a worse price or a better price? You go shopping, say to the shopkeeper, no, that's too cheap. I want to pay you more for that product. No, you want to get a better price. And that is the moment, it's a better price. Are there any sellers coming in? Touch of a mouse. Look at the 4 hour, a little bit of a wick there. Look at the 1 hour, a little bit of a red coming in there. 15 minutes already coming on. If you're seeing that occur, you're getting a better price. What a pleasure. If you can even do a wider stop, if you want to use the same stop, a perfectly good stop loss, bung it into your calculator, you're getting a much better. Oh, here, sure what I mean. You've got the calculator. If you haven't, go to the live chat, go to Tech Support and get this damn calculator. This is vital. I'm saying, I'm not exaggerating. 90% of people who are intelligent people, have studied, got courses, know their Fibonacci from their, I don't know, relative strength or MACD or whatever, bugger it up simply because of the emotionally correct position sizing. That's vital. Right, I'll put the figures in as it is at the moment, the same stop loss. 0.6594. It's a fairly aggressive on the tight stop. I'll show why it was there in the first place. CAD CH Chef with it 66478. I put the right one in there, yeah. 6478. Yeah, it's got a ridiculously high risk reward, getting a much better price. And there's not a thumb suck where I put the stop in the first case we send it out was above the previous couple of days highs. So that's why it's there. If you go in now, it's 50 Rand per micro compared to whatever it was before, 85 or whatever it was. 90, I can't remember. You get my point. So if you like it, you can even order a slightly wider stop, maybe above the round figure, 66.15 or something, and still get a decent risk reward. But I have a long-winded way of putting it, but I need to make sure we're absolutely clear where I'm coming from, Cecil and Company. Practice, Nikki. Once you get the concept, it's just practice. It's like anything else. I mean, when I was a kid, I did my 12 times table. We didn't have all this fancy gadgetry. We wanted to recite it. 12 12s, 144, 9 8s is 72. We recite it. So otherwise, just practice. It'll make you more intelligent. I mean, more intelligent. It's just practice. Okay. The where you need to put your mental strength in is that mental strength and handling that emotional ups and downs. And one of the little tips is don't look at the damn thing all the time. Check it out, sure, to modify your stop loss. You stare at it, it's going to play with your head. And that's where the mistakes come in. Okay, so CAD CH Chef, if you like it, you can do it. If you want a wider stop, because it is pretty tight there, if you go in this price, only 20 pips. You might want to make it a 50 pip stop and just above the round figure if you're going in now. If you're already in, leave it alone. Don't start playing your stop now, just getting close and widening it. But then your risk reward calculation will be pointless if you get it. Ivan's helping you out, the position size calculator. You must have it. You don't go shopping without doing a budget, do you? You don't just go shopping and get stuff off the shelf, what the hell, and then suddenly find you're not no money for rent at the end of the month or whatever. So just bear that in mind. Okay. Bit long-winded, but I hope you're with me on that. AUD CAD. I looked at it this morning. Why was I not jumping up and down about it? Oh, that's right, because we're all going to trade out. I knew the reason, we're all going to trade out there. AUD CAD, unless it's hit, I don't think it's hit the stop loss or TP or whatever. Where's the AUD CAD? Definitely got one out. AUD CAD, pretty sure we did. Maybe I'm mixing it with something else. Thought we had one out. AUD, where was it? Oh, I thought we had one out. Beg your pardon. No, okay, my mistake. I thought we had one out, so I ignored it because I had it written down to look at, funny enough, and I thought we had one out already. Oh, yes, we do. Aha, we do. It was a trading room one. It wasn't sent out by the company. I don't know why it wasn't, but anyway, it wasn't. But we did in the trading room, and that was done on Friday, 89.80 as a sell. So any guys in the trading room took it will have a big smile on their face. We did it right. It's doing well. Thank you. One of I couldn't there because we're only in the trading room. So it didn't even go on the VIP groups. The guys that attend the trading room are the platinum group, then you get the VIP group, and you get the others. First class, second class, and the others, third class. Get into trouble just now, eh? Yeah, so it's doing well. Again, give it a go. Where's our TP? 88.39. It hasn't got there yet. Am I right? Yeah, it hasn't got there yet. It's only, what, 50 pips away. It might well get there. So don't take it now because you're 100 pips in profit. Run with your winners. I'm sorry to go on. I know Farney's ready to sick to death of it. But I will go on like a stuck bloody record. Run with it. Rather protect yourself, get your stop loss modified. First of all, we're going to get rid of all this from this trade. I don't want to get it close. It's doing okay. I still think the AUD is a lot weaker. Hang on. We're not doing the CHF. It's the CAD. But as I explained, I think we could see some Canadian strength coming in. So we can get it, I think, above the round figure, maybe 89.25. 89, actually make it 80, yeah, that's 30, that's 33 pips. That'll do, yeah. I'll just write it down for you. Those who did don't enter, don't confuse me. You guys don't think it's a trade idea. No, it's the guys who are already on board to take the risk out of the trade. So we're going to make it 89.25. So whatever happens, you're going to make money on this trade. Get my point? You will make money on it. It depends whether you make a nice one or a really nice one. You get my point? Okay, good stuff. That was the bonus for trading room. Okay, so there we go. Don't enter it now. I'm not sure you're asking about it just now. How much does one need to count? The platinum group. No, that's just a joke, Martin. That's a joke. I'm just saying that it wasn't sent out to the VIP or anybody out there. So it was just discussed in the trading room. So the guys in the trading room automatically end the platinum group. It's just a joke. Saying if you're here, we're going to call you the. No, in fact, we'll call it the Trading Rambos group. Okay. So if you're a Rambo, Trading Rambo, you'll be doing it. So there we are. We won't send out to anybody else. I'm going to send one or two out to the VIP group. Sorry to say that. You're a member anyway, Mark, so it's irrelevant. In the afternoon, simply because some of the guys are doing other stuff. So if it's about 4 o'clock and I find a decent one, I probably will put it on there. Because we missed 2 great trades, I think it was last week, that did very well indeed, but they didn't post them, so I'll post them on our VIP. Purely VIP, nobody else, so just bear in mind. But it's irrelevant to you, any Martin, because you're on the group anyway. But we are looking to create a platinum group in the future. We've got at least $5 million in your account. At the moment, we haven't got anyone. I'm just joking, though. The platinum group is the guys that come in here. Okay, so there we are. Good. That was all answered. All right, so we'll move on from that one. CAD CHF. Anything happening there? Has anybody taken it at the better price? Because I hope it's going to come right. Not because it's worrying me a little bit, but it has got quite a bit of resistance support here. If you're going short, we'll call that support. So that might hold. Okay. The GBPNZD, did anyone get that, by the way? Because it looked like it came off pretty quickly, I think. Yeah. Did anyone take it? Because even if you took it late, it seemed to be doing pretty well. It's already about 60 pips in profit. You're in both. Do that in a moment. Okay, you didn't, because you finally obviously read it and didn't want it, because your risk will be completely up to maggots. So find that correct not to take it until you get a better price. Those guys who did take it, maybe we're chasing a bit this time. You, by more luck than judgment, you're doing okay with it. But be careful of that in the future. Okay. Maybe 10 pips all right, but 30, 40, 50 pips away, definitely that ship sailed. Okay. Okay. 65.75. That's the price now on the CAD CHF, yeah. If you like, you can go for it now, yeah. The dollar yen, let's get this morning, there's a reason behind it, yeah. I think you yourself said earlier on, a moment ago, I'm a little bit wondering about this damn dollar. And I said, I agree with you. The dollar suddenly shot up lately for whatever reason, not quite sure what that is. Coming out to, no big fundies today. Why did that suddenly happen? Just give me a second. I've got the hour chart on. I'd like to make sure it is the hour one. Yeah, it's the hour one. What happened there? Just give me a minute. What happened to the dollar at that moment? Nothing really. Bit strange there. Anyway, the dollar just strengthened a bit. The dollar is a bit strange at the moment. Can't get a better word for it. So that's my issue with that. Clearly, it's in the buy zone on the daily. I am still a bit nervous of the dollar. I'm worried about the Fed's interest rate decision coming out. I think he might hold back this one, but there's no guarantee. He could bung another 0.25% in, which would, if he did that, we'll have extreme strengthening of the dollar. If he doesn't, it might pull back a bit. I think a bit of Japanese yen strength might come in. I know it's in the buy zone. For me, a couple of balls in the air on that one. I'm a bit nervous of it for those reasons. Is it going to break above that? I could even expect a bit of a pullback down here. I'm a bit iffy on it. I can see just a good area to stay out as to go in. When that happens, I want more than 50-50. Euro we look at, but no, that could, yeah, nosedive, it's come back up again in the last hour for whatever reason from sideways. There's something going on there. I'd be wary of that one. Okay. Are we good? Any questions? I mean, I'm saying feel free to disagree. I won't burst into tears. I might learn something. Anyone feel comfortable they want to buy or sell this one? I don't think government intervention has occurred yet, but there's a lot of talk of it because they've done that before. Oh, the US government sold it to the Japanese. Because the US government is no, they'll let it. To back or sell the dollar, it takes far more than the Japanese government. They won't be doing that. They'll let it. It is still the world's go-to currency after gold, if you like. There's no necessity for them to do that. And no, they've got enough CPIs and PPIs and God knows what eyes to look after the free flow of the buyers and sellers in a floating market. They won't be doing that, no. Nor the euro. In fact, very few do it. It's just the Japanese did occasionally do it. So I won't worry about the US part. Okay. Good, got that. So it's CHF JPY for whoa. The US dollar is tricky for me. As I say, join Ivan and me on that one. That's not the platinum club. That's the dollar tricky club. It is very dicey at the moment, yeah. But we'll see. Okay, I will leave it alone. So after that, CHF JPY. This is something you pay the pullbacks. I mentioned the other day that I'm going to go in for the long term on this one. I can easily get to 163. And sure I did, like a complete idiot. I didn't change my TP back up to 163. I forgot to do that. I went back to go and do it, and the whole thing hit the TP. Now I think, what's he whinging about? Hitting the TP, that's good news. Well, yes, it is, but it could have been great news. But I just missed it and I was out. I didn't want to chase it. You know what I'm saying? No, I'll be very nervous to sell the Swiss franc. Very nervous. Okay. So bottom line is, I'm waiting for a pullback. If you think it's going to pull back and you want to risk going against a very strong trend, up to you. But I'm going to rather hope it comes back to around about these levels and buy it. And it might do, but then it might not. So I'm going to buy the pullbacks. I'm not going to sell it down. Okay. Okay. Before I come to that, Chantel, are we good with that? Sam, let's have a look at the shorter term chart. You see, already the buyers are coming in on the one. Remember, the work, all these moving averages work for all of them. Look at that. Even on the 1 hour, look at it bounce there. No, do not be selling the Swiss franc for the time being. Don't say in 6 months' time, you said don't sell the Swiss franc. 6 months, things could change. At the moment, you buy it, you do not sell it. Okay. Right, where are we now? What are we looking at now? GBPNZD. The signal came out clearly at GBNZD, sorry. That ship sells. If you didn't do that, that ship sells. Are you in it, or do you want to go in? So I wouldn't go in now, no. In fact, the ship 100% sell. You know what I mean? That's practically bloody decimal, not quite. It's halfway to its destination. You got to wait for the return, the next ship to come around, I'm afraid. No, sorry. If you're on board, fantastic. If you're not, I'm afraid you missed that one. And that's not your fault. It came a bit late. It's simply because it often had a WhatsApp loading problem before they could send it out. They've got to put it together in certain ways to send it. That's why I can't, even though they're my ideas. Bit of a pity that. Regulators, bloody bureaucracy getting in the way. So we've got to be very careful. Well, yeah, well done. It's doing very well, yeah. It's 30 pips now. I'll try use pips. I will confuse the new guys, Pietro. It looks like they won't know the difference. We do pips here, not points. 10 points, 1 pip. I know you know, and we know, but just some of the guys have, got to get that right. Leave it alone. So you're doing fine. We could get a bit of bounce through the way it's going on this one. To do on the 15 minute. It's come off so quickly, could get a bit of a bounce. So make sure you don't lose on that one. Okay. Chantillo, that's another one. Right. This one again, NZD-CHF. So without even looking at it, I would hope we'd done that, say, set it. If set a buy, I'd be very nervous. The stronger currencies, not New Zealand dollar, I would not buy against the Swiss franc. So clearly, I wouldn't do against the NZD. We'll look at it. I think you're going to find not enough meat on the bones. Yeah, so that's fine, Peter. I'm happy with that, yeah. NZD, well, they clearly sell, no doubt about it. The problem is there enough meat on the bones? That's going good. Let's do the weekly. I don't think you find anything yet. That's your fine for your target. Go to the monthly. If you want to use this as your target, 60 pips. That's the monthly. Going back in November 2019, which is just under 4 years ago. You get my point. So I want to sell it all right, but it might not get there. You can get to maybe 54.15. We can make it an aggressive risk reward using the previous lows as a target, but you can't do it now. You're going to take, I'd like to have it above here, which means you're risking 50 to make 40, clearly. You get my point. So yeah, I agree with you, but there's not enough profit in the trade. Got it, good. Hope you're all seeing that, because these questions being asked are not just for the individual asking, but it's for everybody. And if you're not sure, and I have a bad habit, it's only Langton embarrassed to say, talk a bit quickly, just say, run that by again, because this is important bullet points. Don't bury your head in books, get these important bullet points, and you'll learn a lot quicker and easier. Peter is a good example, been doing a couple of months. Yeah, not weary, wary. Difference in the word, Fred. That's the trouble with English. It's completely different meaning. Like wind, that's wind coming through the, and then you get winds, or you wind a clock up or whatever. both the same spelling. Thank God I learned them a first language. It must be very confusing out there. And there's a bow and the bow, B-O-W, bow and arrow, and the bow of a ship. Now, a person's not their first language must get very confused with that. Anyway, we'll move on. Gold has it pulling back a bit. It should be pulling back in theory, not as much as I like. It's like pulling back, all right, but not much as I like. It needs to get down to the 50-day moving average. No, that's too far. Far too far. Pulling rubbish. Yeah, it needs to get to about 58 and we can look at it. But keep an eye on that DXY. We don't want you jumping in if the dollars continue to climb, even if it fell back to 58, because it could pull back further. Remember, newer guys, gold is inversely proportional to the dollar strength. And I'm going to give that to you now. I think most of you got it, but don't take 2 seconds. Just give it. You must have that, save it, and minimize it on your laptop. So when you're trading, you can constantly refer to it like I do myself. Very important. You know, so it comes back to 58. Don't just dive in. Look, check that dollar out. The dollar's going up. Gold, in theory, not always, other factors involved, but overwhelmingly will weaker and vice versa. I'm just going to put the economic calendar down for you so you know, and I'll put my details. Give me a minute. Right, that's the, please save those two, very important. This is also important, is the, if you all know it, great. If you don't know what it means, it's a 10-year yield on a 10-year note. I will explain it to you. It's also important. DXY, economic, most important, then the DXY, then this one. But they're all very important. Okay. And then I'm going to put my number down. This is, by the way, this number is only for beautiful ladies who drive Porsches. Okay, nobody else. I'm just joking, guys. And like old bald-headed males. Not very many of them around, unfortunately. Okay, use the WhatsApp. Now, if you've got 2,500 rand or more, guys, or $150 if you've got a dollar account, clearly, please WhatsApp me on that number. Don't just put this is John. You mean put your details there. How you like that, Gertrude? This is my wacky sense of humor. I can laugh at myself, you notice. Yeah. Put your details. It says John here from the trade room. I mean, who's John? You know, put your details in so I know it. I'll check it out and I'll upload you to my VIP group. 2.5 grand or $150 or more. To be a member, you'll get daily updates and you'll get some something like CAD JPY as well, extra. Okay, so it's a benefit to you to be there. Why is it more? We're trying to get more money out of you. Well, probably yes, but the biggest reason is you can't trade extra trades if you don't have the money to do it. It's a bit like window shopping in a Ferrari Rolls Royce shop. You know, you waste the sales guy's time. You might love the product, but you can't buy it. You haven't got enough. You haven't got the several million or whatever is required. So with more money in, it's important. I want to go on about that as well. People with small amounts of money are going to be up against it. I'm not trying to say this for my sake, for the company's sake, or whatever. I'm talking for your sake. You're going to be up against it. We've all heard the expression, too many, having all your eggs in one basket. When you've got a small amount of money, I have no choice having all your eggs in one basket because you don't have enough capital. You're underfunded to go into more than one trade at a time. Certainly not 3 trades. And the guys going to 3 trades, two do well and one bums out, they're still smiling. The poor guy who could only do one, pick the bummer, then he's in a worse situation than before. So you need to be able to diversify, spread your risk, and to do that, go to 2-3 trades, which you need free margin to do. And if you don't have enough free margin, you're going to have a problem. That's why be wary of the 500 to 1 leverage. It means the deposit is smaller, but it's still lack of capital. It means you can get margin call. It means you don't have free margin. I don't care where the stop loss is. When you run out of free margin, your trade will be closed and call it a margin call. Very important. So as soon as you get some money into your account, then you can diversify and you got a chance. Small amounts of money, you've got to be very lucky. You know what I mean? Okay, thanks, Samuel. For the yield, you get a bond. The bond is borrowed money, like you bond on a house. We have notes, we often call it paper. You can have a 5-year note, we call it 10-year note. Then you have the treasury bill, which is short term. The note is medium term. It's all borrowed money. And then you have what's called the long-term bond. The bond's really long-term, 15 years upwards. The popular one's a 30-year one. Right. Now, it's a paper. It's got a value on it. Like a 200 Rand note, there's a value on it. Now, it might have 200 Rand on that note. Remember, guys, so I'm boring you know already, but it's important to get the idea. I'll use the example used before. How long is a 200 Rand note going? It's about 10 years or more. Let's pretend it's 10 years anyway. You went to the bank, got a 200 yen note, Rand note out. It's got 200 Rand, blah, blah, all fantastic, etc. And it's valued at that time at 200 Rand, okay? Now, you go and put it in your drawer. 10 years later, you take it out. It's still got 200 Rand in, obviously, and it's a 200 Rand note. But the value has changed. It's gone down in value. So although it's still a 200 Rand note, it's down in value. So the paper, the 10-year bill or whatever, will still have that $10 million or whatever, which institution, high net worth individual buy up or whatever, and the yields on it will chop and change. If the yields go up on it, or the interest, the income you're getting from that paper, as I mentioned, goes up or down, there's inverse effect on the paper itself. So the bond goes up, yields go down, yields go up, bond goes down. You get the idea. So if the yield, we're not on the bond, we're on the yields. If the yields go up, it means you're getting a higher interest rate. Gold is called opportunity cost. Gold does not give you an interest rate. Well, it doesn't give you dividends. It's purely there for capital gain. Now, if you can get money on a high interest rate, completely no-brainer, no skills involved, very safe area, why are you putting something like gold? It's risky. So if the yields go up, interest goes up, it's negative for gold. If the yields come off, it's positive for gold. Exactly the same with the dollar. The dollar is the other safe haven used, whether you agree with it or not, until the BRICS currency 20 years down the line comes around at the moment. So often, if the dollar goes up, people put the money towards the dollar, they'll be taking it, and the gold will weaken. So if you see the yield, that's all you got to worry about after that long-term experience. Let's give you the background. If you see the yields come off and the dollar coming off, then you can look at buying gold. If they both go up, selling gold. Now, you get a slight anomaly now, is at the moment, I'm looking at the yields, I've just copy and pasted there now, come off a bit, but the dollar itself has strengthened. So we got a bit of a push me, pull you scenario on the gold at the moment. That's why gold hasn't come back to 1955 and lower at the moment, despite the gold going up, because the yields have come off. And that strengthens the gold. You get my point. So keep them there handy, minimize them, and check them out. If the yields were going up, and you looked at your chart going up, and the gold up going quite nicely, you'd be selling the gold. Or if you're going long in it, you'd be getting it either exiting or cutting your position, not entirely, or just cutting it and modifying your stop. You start to get a bit nervous. Are we on the same page with that? If this is quite important. I hope I didn't go too quick for Sam coming in. You got it. Well, I think you have already had Sam. You got it, Sam. It's the new guys. I'm pretty sure you know already, Anne-Marie. It's the new guys. This stuff is a bullet points. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of guys are spending a hell of a long time studying up on basic details. They're great to have, but they're not bullet points. See what I mean? Very important. Yeah. I mean, you want to drive down to Durban, Joburg, to see your daughter's wedding. Do you want me to go into hours and hours explanation what happens under the bonnet? No, you all know the car's going to be safe, and you know how to drive the damn thing to get down there. See what I'm point? That's what I'm trying to get. These are bullet points which you have to have. Make a note. Always come with a note, with a piece of paper, and take notes. If you're not sure, then you just a reminder, copious notes. That's what stock market college is for. It's not me to train you. That's what you're paying them for. But the bullet points, keep a note of. And if you're not sure, run it by, write it down. So you remember, because I'm discussing the CAD JPY, for example. But we'll finish that first before going into your question. Got it written down so you don't forget it. Okay, very important. We got that all, guys. Happy. Right, going back. Easy to predict direction of Mars. You need to have them because it happens. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Bomb goes off in the Union building. Never mind whether technically, let's say you were short of the Rand, and technically you were correct. What's going to happen? Sorry, you are buying the Rand. Sorry, technically you're correct. that round will come off. A bloody great bomb goes off in the Union Building or in Parliament. No, it's that slightly different. If you drop a bomb on the Parliament, the rand will strengthen. I'm just joking, guys. I'm just taking Mickey out of our politicians, so I'm just joking. No, if a bomb goes off on Parliament or the Union Building or whatever, clearly it's going to weaken the yen. That's got nothing to do with the technicals, so need to keep an eye on it. Okay, and it's free. I mean, it's there. You've got the economic calendar. Keep an eye on it, and it even says 2 or 3 star. And if you come to trading, you know some are more 3-star than others. You've heard the expression more equal than others. Well, there's more equal than others. Some of the 3-star, like the CPIs and the non-farms coming out once a month. Don't forget, we're getting near the end of the month. I'll update you later. We will be doing straddle trades on those two. If you want to do your own straddle trades on various other CPIs or whatever, you can do it. Okay, PPI is not enough meat on the bone, maybe miss it. And be careful of interest rates like coming up on Wednesday, because the jump might be there, but my worry is shortly after Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, will be doing a Q&A, beg your pardon, Q&A, question and answer session, where you could get some jumping around. So I'd be a little bit wary of trying to get cute with the straddle on the US interest rate Fed release on 8 o'clock on Wednesday evening. Hope we're all clear on that. Need to cover that stuff. I'll cover it again. It's important. Okay. Right. Do you think the Nasdaq is going to pull back? I do, but I've been saying that for a while. A lot. Yeah, because they want to bring it. They've been quite open that low to 2%. They've done a pretty good job. And it's come down just over 3. So rightly on track. So you might get a breather this time. I would say 99% of the time, they don't like to spook the market. So they have an expected 0.25% or 0% will fulfill it. This particular time, there might be a slight change depending on what they feel. They get what's something called a beige book, where they look at all the economic indicators. And if Powell feels on track, he'll probably turn around and say, not another question, we'll do it again, but we can maybe take a breather. Or he might say, well, just get this one last one in, take a breather off the other ones, and hopefully in the new year bring them down. These sort of answers he'll come up with, and that will play with the strength of the dollar. So I'd rather not be in there or trade at that particular time. Okay. That's exactly what it's for. The Nasdaq, I've been saying for a while, is overcooked and seem to keep on going up. There's even talk now that quite important interest rate, looking that there might be not the horrific recession everyone's expecting. Because whether you like the Americans or not, you've got to hand it to them. You really do got to hand it to them. I mean, the jobs are still fantastic. We're talking about 3% just over unemployment. What a dream. You know what I mean? And the reason for any unemployment is there's some people just unemployable. I mean, there's more jobs than there are people to fill them. But some people just are unemployable. So we can have some unemployment, and yet it's not creating inflation. And that's why they might actually have an off-putting recession. And the bear market maybe jump, because you have a cyclical bear bull market. You might be jumping back and might go back to more movement upwards. There's a lot of people talking we might be back in the bull already. I'm not so sure personally. Be careful of that. But I am now a little bit more wary of the NAS selling it than I was, let's say, a couple of weeks ago, which is probably just as well. We got smacked a couple of weeks doing that. So that's exactly what it's for, control inflation now. You've got to keep some sort of value. It's no good trying to have savings. And would you save money in Zimbabwe with that inflation rate? There's no point. You spend it immediately. There's no point in saving because it's losing value so quickly. That's the problem with it. Anyway, going back to this one here, I am at the moment, I am very nervous with that. It's very volatile. It isn't support. It could jump from here. But look on Friday's candle, the wick is there. It pushed it down to support again, try to get going, but it's not broken that. It's not having any signs of sellers pushing further down. It could be a bit of sideways movement until, in my opinion, Wednesday evening, and then we'll depend what happens there. We'll get a jump or pull back. I personally have been like this on the NAS for a while. I'd give it a bit of a miss. Okay. Look at it with certain. Agunma. Okay, I'll pronounce it right. What was that? The UNZD. Watch that gold is coming off we might get a buy later on. Just keep an eye on that DXY. But if it gets to 58, let me know. I'll have a look at it. Okay. Where are we now? Obviously trading. I'll still keep an eye on it. What's that do to nice jump? I don't know. It's jumping up. It could be a bad one. Hope not. We'll do that one first. A lot of it's thread there. Excuse me a second, guy. Euro NZD. Okay, could well be. Could well be. It's come off because the German scenario, but it's still in the buy zone. NZD at the moment, it used to be a very strong currency. One of the first to come out of COVID, the strongest currency going. Times change, remember that. For the moment, it's one of the weaker ones. I think the euro could be in for a jump from here. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Yep, we're getting a bit of buyers coming in. Don't like this. Bit of indecision. Remember, it's 10:30. It's an hour one. It's only 30 minutes old. We're already getting into some indecision. Let's do the 15-minute. Not really. The sales are coming in too quick. So I'm a little bit nervous of buying at the moment, but I think it's a potential. I agree with you. Gonma, hope I pronounce it properly. I'll call you what's in Warren in there. Sorry, easier for me. Okay, Warren, I'm not insulted by saying Warren said Gonma. If you're okay with that. I see a vision, but not seeing any evidence of buyers out there backing you up. So we're going to sit on the fence on this one. Leave it alone, in other words. Are you happy with that? I'm fine. Okay, you're happy with that one. Good stuff. Now, the GBP NZD looks like it's going to be a bad one. Tell you what, the bad one's going to happen pretty quickly. It's bad. No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. What's wrong with the bad? No, it's brilliant. You must be smiling, guys. It's not jumping at all. GBP NZD is brilliant. Don't we talk about there? This is fantastic. Pietro, you must have a big bloody smile on your face with this one. Yo. What a beaut. The guys that chase this, they go, well, do we stay in? I was always saying, yes, I do. Great. Capital letters, that means. Now, as I mentioned before, Logan, yes, you do. I think we're going to get a little bit of a bounce here. We'll see because the round figure, a bit of profit taking here. But I don't know what the extent of the bounce is. Why would you suddenly jump out? What's our TP on this one? Big ones, 0.5. We've still got another 130 pips to go to the TP. It might get there. Let's have a look at what the bounce is doing. Has it got to the, it has. Let's look at the 15-minute. Let's look at the 5-minute. We don't usually look at that. Yeah, it's having a little bit of one. Will it be sustained? So clearly, why take it? You've worked out, get a calculator. Why did you bother getting a calculator to use it? You worked out the risk reward on the base of the stop loss and the TP being and those places which you put in the signal. If you get out now, you've risked 10 to make 8, if you get my point. So what's the point of doing a calculation? But you want to set, you want to protect yourself. How do you protect yourself? You bring your stop down. Now, I don't know what price you got in, because a lot of guys chased it. They didn't get the signal price at 807. They might have got in about 80 or 70. So if you got in at that price, then you got to adjust your stop loss accordingly. So I'm going to give you one anyway. I'm going to give you 30. So if you're still in it, you're going to move to 30. Okay, 207.30, and then you come. Actually, make it 35. Sorry, guys. I don't want you guys to get stopped out, and it continues on to TP. Okay, so there you can modify that. I think all of you got in a lot better price than that. If you chase it down there, I'm going to give you a polite ticking off. If you got in round about my stop loss level after modification, you're over 100 pips away from the signal. That's seriously like chasing it. You know what I mean? No. So you should have got in at least at 70, 80, or hopefully better. And then you've been a profit every way. I hope you're with me on that. Yeah. Okay. But stay in, yeah, why not? We're not getting much of a profit-taking bounce on the 5. But look, the sales are all coming in. Why take it? Again, I have a problem with guys panicking and taking their profit too quickly and holding on to their losses. They've got no chance of that kind of strategy, clearly. And if you modify your stop loss, like I said, whatever's going to happen, you're going to make a profit, so leave the bloody thing. Who knows? It might hit the TP. And if it doesn't, you're stopped out, you made a profit anyway. You might, I'd give you a due, if it comes down to maybe it's still a long way to the TP, 0650 or something, maybe modify your stop, but maybe take a little bit off the table. I don't, unless you got 1 micro. If you've got 5 or 6 micros or 10 micros, you might not have to bank 3 or 4 or 5 and let the others run. You get the idea. I'm assuming you all know how to do that. That's important as well. But I'm trying to get rid of this culture of people, especially when we start. I did the same myself, don't get me wrong. I've taken the profits of 10 rand here and 10 rand there, and taking loss of 100 rand, 100 rand there. Even you get 90%, you're still going to lose. You get my point. Okay. I hope you're all with me. And I hope you all know how to partially close. You don't have to close the entire amount. We call it taking some off the table, banking some. I hope you're all good with that. If you're not, just say so, and I'll try and explain it slightly better, or even show you. If you don't know how to partially close, it won't take long. I'll show you how to do it on mine. Okay. No, it's not platform training. We won't look long. It won't take long. Yes, I had. I didn't see anything there this morning. Nothing to change. Just remember, if you don't know how to do it, it won't take long. I'll show you how to do that. Partially close. But I won't do it if you don't ask. There you are. You got to put your hand up. Okay. That's telling me nothing, obviously. Partial close. I'll do that in a moment. Good. Hey, no, leave it alone. Similar currents at the moment. Both of them slightly on the medium to weakest side. I still think the New Zealand is slightly weak, not much in it. We could get a bounce from there. There's a lot better fish to fry than this one. It's, to me, a bit of a 50-50 at the moment. If you ask me, do I think to buy it or sell it? And my piece of advice is take a coin out. Heads you buy, tails you sell. There you are. I think that's good enough. Leave it alone. What should I do? 31 pips already, but I'm still on minus. I don't understand. Well, that's 2 of us. I don't understand what you mean by that. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about there. Does anyone know what the lady's talking about? Then can help me out, because I don't know what you mean by that. What do you think? I'm just going to little boy from a second, excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, we need more clear what you mean. Let's go back to that question. There should be on profit because it jumped, but it's not updating my profit. Maybe it's 75 is a problem. I think you know what you mean. You mean the profit is definitely there, but you can't see it on your screen. But I don't know. That's not enough information. You make it strong. So I'm saying it might be a technical problem. If it's a technical problem like that, you can go to the live chat go to technical support and they'll try and solve it. I don't want to be nasty guys about me here, but the better people to go to when it comes to IT than myself, I'm afraid. I'm not the world's best genius on that. Okay, that's fair enough. Okay. Good. Well, remember, the consolidated channel indicator, CCI, and stochastic could well be, if they're indicating it, remember they are following the down movement anyway, but that's up to you. Okay, certainly. Well, if it's a tech list, you then going to maybe somebody here can help you. I'm not the world's best at tech, far from it. Somebody else might be able to assist you on that. Oh, you have to go. Okay, Anna Marie, great as always to have you. Fantastic. Okay, so if you want to unmute, if it's technical issue, I might have a problem. But pretty Mark's not here. He's got the IT business. He's probably pretty quick. But some guys there pretty jacked up. Or just go to the live chat. Clinton, I think, is on trading support, and he's seriously jacked up on technical stuff. Okay, it might be easier for you. All right, so that leaves alone. Anybody want to do this one before I move on? My position on this is no position. I would leave it alone. LIA. Okay. Now we're going back to one GBPNZD. Should be a fantastic property. CAD CHF. Anything happening there? Shorter term. 5 minute. Really got desperate here. Might get lucky. Not stopped out yet. Might get lucky. So actually, I'm not get too panicked. It's only 20 pips above the price. So stop panicking, Roger. It's only 20 pips above. We can get a right stay on this one. We've had some good trades. I hate it when they go wrong, but it happens. Got to accept it. But this still could come right. And remember, these on the daily, not the short term, the daily lower lows. So it should come right. I'll back the Swiss franc, not the Canadian. So I'm happy with the shoot. So it might come right. The other one was a real corker in there. Some beauty, this one. Say myself. Well spotted me. No room here for my modesty, eh? That's a beauty, eh? It seems to be holding the round figure, but trying to break through. Okay, and here's the question. Let's just go to the trades. All right. Okay. You can do on a loss if you want to cut half your losses. You do it. But I'll show the profit. I can't do it now because LUV dot, don't forget the dot after the code of the share, is a US CFD. Okay, so US CFD share, and it only opens up as 3. So you can't modify, open, close, do anything with it until it opens. Remember I said the shop's got to open first. What you do is you want to modify the stop loss, obviously go to there and you modify the stop loss of the TP or whatever, and eventually comes up. There we are. Happy? But we're not going to modify, we're going to cut it. How many have I got? I've got 35 shares. Remember, you're going to do shares, volumes are different. If you put 35 in a Forex, you got maybe have about a $20 million account. Off the top of me, I don't know. It's a very astronomically large position. How do I know that? If I go to LUV, what's this, guys? You haven't seen it before? I highlight LUV, I right click, and then I left click on specification, and I look at the contract size. It says 1. Where's it? Okay, 1. Okay. Now, if we go to, let's say, GBP, doesn't matter, any Forex, the same thing. Forex pair, left click specification, it says contract size 100,000. Slight difference, guys, you get the point. So 0.01 or 0.1 or whatever is a very, you would not do it on shares, bottom line. We can, and it hits target and you made half a box of matches, you're wasting your time. You get the point. So here I got the volume of 35. So read the signal, and you see like 50 rand or 40 rand risk for 1 share. I mean, 1.0 is 40, so 2 is 80 rand. You get the idea. Read the signal. Don't go into fractional there. I think Jock is in charge of the admin side of this. He's pretty good IT as well. I think he might have defaulted to a minimum 1 to get people out of the habit. Okay, because it's wasting our time, your time, everyone's time, and inevitable disappointment if it doesn't work out. Okay. Right. Going back to the original question. You can go to anywhere but SMTP, but that seems to confuse people. So let's use the volume. You want to close half of it, assuming the market's open. You can't do the weekend or whatever. You can only do it when the market's open. You highlight it. See that? Highlight it. Then what the hell is that for? Just a second. We didn't do that. Okay, go back again. You highlight it. You double click. Okay. It's a little bit slower because we're on the internet. I'm trying to get a bit quicker internet. It's a little bit slower than the one I had up in Joburg, but it's still working okay. Right. You double click. Make the volume you like, the one you highlighted, and clearly that will come up. You can see close. Well, you don't close it. You close the volume you want to close. If I want to close, let's say 20 shares, I put in 20, obviously, 0.0, and I click the close button. I can't do it now because the market's closed. Market's closed. You see my point? If the market was open, what would happen is that would change to 15, and obviously that figure would go down to about 320 or whatever the part is. Are we with it? All together good? So if you want to partially close, if you've got 1 micro, that's it. That's all you got. But anything bigger than micro. So let's just pick the one and put the volume in, double click on volume, the one you want to do, put in the volume you want to close there, and then click the close. That will be banked, the rest will be running. So if you're getting a bit nervous in the GBNZD, it's bouncing a little bit here. You might get stopped out and modified stop. Never mind, you made a good profit. But it's breaking through, you're still getting nerves, might not get there. You stick around with it, and you got, let's say, 6 micros, close 3, let the 3 run, modify your stop, sure. Not too close, 30, 40 pips away, preferably maybe even 45 pips away, and see if you can hit the TP. Are we all clear on that? Got it. Good stuff. See, this is not rocket science, guys. Where the rocket science comes in is controlling those damn emotions. And I'm a very emotional person. And so this is the biggest thing that knocked me for several years. So I'm trying to put a whole man's head on your shoulders, try to identify what the problems were. It wasn't the teaching, wasn't the marketing, it was my bloody emotions getting in the way. I'm not sure about that now. I think if you got a sell limit on there, I'm not sure it's going to get triggered. I think that should sell. Oh, talking about, so I thought GBNZD, EURNZD, EURNZD. Didn't we have that as a trade idea out? I think that hit TP. No, it was GBNZD, beg your pardon. And that was the other day. Hang on, confusing myself here. That's right, EURNZD, they hit TP. Oh, I see what you're talking about now. Okay, sorry guys, my mistake. I think the pound dollar, so euro dollar. Will it bounce back? Yeah, it's a chance. It's a good chance. What's it doing in the meantime? Yeah, I might have a point there. Any evidence to support it? This is a 1 eye. Do you see where I'm going quickly? I'll try and slow it down here. Shame, Van Deely. Okay, well, hopefully we'll catch you tomorrow then. These things happen. Bloody load shedding. I get it. Now, if you have to go, Namvuza, you have to go. Thank you for joining me. Great when you can. Thank you for your contribution. Hope we catch you again tomorrow. Hope you're getting benefit and value out. That's the main thing. Now, do you understand what I'm talking about? Gerard probably does. He's done this before, but some of the newer guys. I looked at the 1 out, a short term. I'm looking to buy it, but we're not getting anything. It popped up, and look, the sellers came in again. Let's do the very short term, 15 minutes, sideways. As it goes up, sellers are coming in the last 3/4 of an hour. Okay. Thank you, Namvuza. Fine, understand. Okay, so sellers are coming in as it tries to pop up. So I'm a little bit loath to buy it. Okay, where is it on the 4 hour? It's in the buy zone, the 4 hour, I'll give you that. Also for the weekly, definitely the buy zone there. It could get a jump here. I agree with you. I'm a little bit nervous that hour and shorter term candles, but I think you're going to get a jump now. Why is it not happening yet? I think it's still the German manufacturing figures start to filter as more people get their desks. Let maybe a bit more dust settle on that negative coming from Germany. Okay, but otherwise, yeah, I think it's a good possibility of bounce here. I think the euro is slightly stronger fundamentally, and it's come down to the support level here. I think it's a possibility of trade to go upward. I agree. I'm just getting a little bit nervous of lack of follow through. Maybe a scratching on the 5 minutes. See, it's coming off on the 5. So watch this. I agree, Gerard. I think you've got a great possibility. Let the dust settle. It might not be, we won't be by 11 o'clock. Might not be before lunch. Maybe see some after lunch, it starts to move on an hour candle. You can take it. You just make sure you get a risk reward. After this, it's there. Let's see, getting around about there. That's too far away. Maybe put your stop below Friday's low, and you can aim up here somewhere, or even there if you get a risk reward. You know how to do that now. Okay, I don't need to hold your hand on that one, so that might be an idea. I don't think so either. I like it. I like your trade idea. Just not getting much. Sorry, Funny. You're not getting many buyers to get follow through yet. But otherwise, keep an eye on it, Harold. I quite agree. I like it. Sorry, Funny. Go for it.
Sorry, but we're still in the trade from last week, Thursday. It didn't hit the stop loss. So
Well, it
I
did.
think it's a better, maybe
did.
the question was also, do you think you have a probability to jump back? I've looked now at the fundies, and the fundies from Britain and France and Germany and Euro all was below expectations on the PMIs, all three countries.
Okay, fair enough. The PMIs, okay. Personally, it's important, but it's still the CPI is a slightly bigger one. I wouldn't get, yeah, but I hear you. Sorry, the GBP, the Euro NZD we're talking about. Yeah, hit TP on Friday. This is Friday. It got to just over 80. Look at the TP on the signal there. It was 79.81. So you should have been hit your TP on Friday on that one. Okay, that's out. I'm with Carol. I like a buy. Keep a strong eye on it. I'll be checking maybe later. I might take it myself actually if I start to see some follow through confirmation. But yeah, keep an eye on this, guys. Write it down. Keep an eye. Wait for confirmation. I agree. The more I look at it, Carol, the more I think about it. I like this. I think we can get a bounce because I agree that NZD ain't that strong. The euro, I think, will strengthen a bit after that bit of German bad news. And it wasn't a total disaster. And it's not like the United States. It's 17 different countries. You know, it's not like one country. Right. Sam, no. The reason I suggest not a straddle trade, you can if you like, but take it quickly. If you want to do an 8 o'clock straddle trade tonight on the, not tonight, sorry, it's Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. It's not this evening. What's this evening? I couldn't get in this evening. What have you got this evening? Don't think got anything as far as I can see. No, we've not got nothing this evening. It's Wednesday night. I think you thought the Fed release. No, if you're going to do that one, if the buy or the sell takes in, take your profit pretty damn quick. Don't get cute because a Q&A could make a whipsaw effect. The last thing you want to do is suddenly you're 40 pips in profit, jumps down and it hits your TP or something, your stop loss or something. Just be careful of that. If you're not experienced on that, I'd rather leave it. Get more experience joining me on the CPI and non-farm session coming up next month. You need to be on it for that one because I wouldn't hold around too long because you get some, often you see it jumping around when he's speaking. Okay. Hope we're all good with that. Any questions? Are we all good?
Hello, Roger.
Yeah.
What price would you suggest for the Euro NZD?
Euro NZD, what price?
Yeah, so if we're looking for a buy, what price would you suggest?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay. What's an hour chart? How far away is it to that? Too far away. Don't ask me awkward questions I can't answer. No, it's a good question. Very good question. Good bloody. You need to say confirmation. Can you be more explicit? 4 hours. Got that 4 hours. Yeah, very good question. I think it's 10 pips away from the round figure. I tell you what. What I'd like to see it do is get to the round figure, pop up head, come back, and the round figure hold and bounce. Then it'd be a good entry. The round figure is 1.79. So it gets to 1.79. I'll put a line for you. Make it a bit easier. Good question, that, by the way. Well done, Ivan. It's around about 9. Anyway, it's 79, whatever. I'd like it to regain that, pop up a bit, not miss the boat, and maybe pop up a bit, maybe come back, test it. Remember I mentioned the other day, and then move up again. Then you're a strongly confirmed one. Stop down here, TP up there. Get the idea. Maybe even use a
Right,
4
so-
hour. Okay, got it there. And you can even use a 4 hour for this one instead of a daily.
Okay. So we're looking for 17900, give or take a few points, and then, but you suggest keeping it on a 4-hour chart
Yeah.
to look for confirmation.
That's correct. I just want the confirmation where it doesn't just, I don't want to miss the trade, but I don't want to just come in and it falls back again. It's like get the ceiling is strong enough to keep the bird in the cage, but and it comes back again. Or is the ceiling like a glass ceiling, it's easy to break? So it goes up, comes back and tests and goes up again. Very high probability, and you can go for it then. Don't ever expose, by the way. I'm saying it's a very good technical way to get a decent trade in. Yeah, and use the 4 hour. Yeah. Think, yeah, below, yeah, don't chase the moment. It could come off a bit more. So wait for that, guys. If I see it happens anyway, I'll probably, unless I miss it, might spot it or whatever, might put it out to the office and send out a trade ID anyway. But for you guys in the trading room, just I'd like to hold 1.79, the psychological round figure. We'll get killed with it yet. And I'm going to go back to short term and we'll see what I mean by that. See, the sales are coming in on the 5 minute. There's no confirmation there at all. They're still reacting to the what time was it again? The German CPI came out at 9:30. Maybe it's only an hour and a half ago. So let it relax on that one. Hope we're good on that. Okay, guys. Anything happening on this CAD CHF? I hope that's not to disappoint us. And the other one, which is an absolute beaut. Yo. Every trade was like that. We'd all be sitting having sundowns on our luxury yachts. My yacht's bigger than yours, John, be a conversation. They came all like that, eh? GBPMZD. It's come off again. So hopefully when it stopped out, did pop up. It's trying to come off further. So a bit of luck, it might hit the TP, but make sure you're protected. Not every day you're going to make a profit after being in a trade for a couple of hours. That's a beauty. Okay, guys. Just one last thing. Just want to check gold before we knock off here. Coming off a bit. Why is it coming off a bit? Did I mention why? Because the dollar is still strengthening and it's not in much of a pullback. What's the yields? The yields coming off a bit, which is giving a little bit of strength to gold. So hang 5 on that. I personally think the yields, in my opinion, might push it up a bit. And what's it doing the 5 minute, 15 minute? Can we get a reward here? Risk reward. Give me a second. A 58 might not get it. Give me, I might do some here. Might help go on the daily. What should got to stop? I want it down here. It's a problem. Make it 46. 19. Don't too close. 46 and make it 1981. Maybe squeeze 82. We can't get one. Make it 1982. Yeah, and the stop is slightly out of the way of the 50-day, okay? So you want to do that. Yeah, okay, well, there you are. I like that one. And I tell you what, I know the dollar's going up, but the yields are coming down. And remember the opportunity cost I explained on gold? The opportunity cost is getting better and better to go into gold as the yields fall off. So I think you should do all that, you should do okay. But you got to be, if you want to do it, make your mind up now. If it gets back to 62, you're not going to get a risk reward. Do you guys like it? Ivan likes it. I like it. Sorry, Edwin, I do beg your pardon. That came out first. Dude, we'll look at it in a minute. Anybody else like it? If you do, I'll put it down. Anybody else like it? A buy? Okay, that's got it down. That's good enough. I have to say I do like it. Just going to copy and see the guys out there like it. I'm just going to put a pending zone at 59. You're getting slightly jump. You should be in it by now. I make it 59 for everyone else. It doesn't take anyway. Just make figures a bit better than us. Where are we now? And I'm sorry about this. I'll come straight to you in a minute with your trade. No, it's 11, but it doesn't matter. Remember, I get quadruple overtime to go over 11 o'clock, so I'm quite happy to keep me here. It's a joke, guys. Just get copy and paste that. Now, get this out of the way, so I'm going to do it. So it takes some time to come through. Just have to be patient. Otherwise. Okay. Problems here. Come on. Do the other one. Don't worry. Do my other phone thing. Give me a second. Come on. Better. Okay, just put that out, see if they do it, and I'll do the levels, won't take long. Okay, right, going back to minimize that, going back to that question you had there. Where were we? Right, what was that question? Trying to find it. Hang on, where the hell was it now? Jumping all over the place. Someone's better on the phone. Where is it? GBP. Edwin. Okay. GBP AUD. Okay. Roger, I was trading GBP AUD, and in the last 1 hour, the long downward count. I think it can pull back. I don't know why they're going long, short. Yeah. You're in the trade. Okay. I'm assuming you're going long. I don't know what I'm assuming. I don't know. You haven't told me. What do I think it's going to do? Let's have a look. Not sure, actually. I'm not sure at all. Because look, on the 15-minute, it's come off. The sells are coming in. I'm not so sure. Honestly, I don't know. It looks like it might continue a little bit further down to the least of the body here. It's not down there. Even to the body, if not to the actual 50-day. Okay. Oh, you're gonna buy. Okay. You should have modified the stop loss or whatever to make sure. But this stage, I think come back a little bit further, actually. But it did bounce, and if it bounces quite a bit, you need to make sure you protect your profits. Do not turn a winner into a loser. Don't get the stop loss too close, guys. Very important. I could do if you want. Where's 88? See, look at these highs here is my worry. You put it 88, you're taking out all those highs going back to the 17th of May. June, July, 2 months ago, and there's quite a few highs here. I can put the TP up there, it turns you on, but I think we've got to put an air of probability. Trying to do you guys where I don't be chasing it. And some guys, who send a trade out like that, the beginners think we know where the price is going. They don't realize we don't. You get my point? So they'll hold on. It'll get to the highs there and then pull back, and then they're going to be upset. So stick with the TP. If it breaks and holds above 1980, yields get the right way around, coming off and the dollar's weakening, then we can look at 2000 XTP. Oh, that makes sense. But yeah, I hope you modified your stop in GB, whatever it was you just asked. We looked at AUD or whatever it was. Hope you did that, but I think it might pull back up. But this short-term movement was going to happen the next couple of hours. I'm going to be honest, I can't tell you. Could go either way, Edwin, to be honest. Just hope whatever it is, it goes up so you get lucky. Hope that answers your question. Okay, guys, thanks very much. Yeah, hope you're all good, and catch you tomorrow morning and see how those trades go. The company just said they're going to track the goals, so we'll maybe look at it later on. But if you took it and you're happy with, great. It's not going to be sent out in the meantime. They might change their mind. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Fine incoming.